Hello everyone, my name is Summer, and I'm a pretty straight-laced person. I don't smoke, drink, or use drugs. I don't even cuss or watch rated R movies, but I do support the motion to legalize marijuana, and let me explain why you should too. You see, not only is prohibition ineffective, it may actually worsen the situation. Laws against marijuana heighten its appeal. If made legal, marijuana simply wouldn't be as sought after. The Legalization of Marijuana website reports that in states where medicinal marijuana is legal, the figures for teen use of cannabis have either remained stable or have actually followed a downward trend. Prohibition also doesn't stop drug production or its use. It just causes people to commit crimes in order to sell or use drugs. Legalization would result in a reduction of drug-related violent crimes and would thus increase community safety. Officer Hank Day of Bainbridge Public Safety notes that it would also increase safety for law enforcement officers. Obviously, there is a tremendous expense in catching and incarcerating lawbreakers. The folks at the Legalization of Marijuana website report that between 1948 and 1963, the cost of outlawing marijuana came in at $1.5 billion. By 1969, the cost had risen to $9 billion. Time magazine, in partnership with CNN, reported that we spend nearly $23 billion per year on corrections related to nonviolent drug crimes and $75 billion on policing and court expenses related to marijuana arrests. In 2000, over 734,000 people were arrested in America for marijuana offenses alone. The U.S. is by far the most criminal country in the world, with only 5% of the world's population and a staggering 25% of its prisoners. Legalizing marijuana would not only save a ton of money, it could also generate revenue by way of taxation. For example, as reported by Time magazine, it is estimated that pot is the largest cash crop in California, with annual revenues approaching $14 billion. A 10% pot tax would yield $1.4 billion in California alone. Or the government could simply require that producers obtain a license. Both scenarios would promote regulation, yet another advantage of legalization. For example, alcohol, which is a legal drug, is way more difficult for minors to obtain than marijuana, which we know is illegal. That's because alcohol is regulated. In that same vein, legalization would enact health standards by imposing liability on producers. Next, marijuana is less dangerous than several legal substances. Alcohol users have a tendency to get violent, marijuana users do not. Officer Day says that due to his training and experience, it is his opinion that marijuana affects the motor skills reasonably less than alcohol. Alcohol use also has a greater impact on one's thought, free will, and learning processes. Marijuana is not at all physically addictive, is less physiologically addictive than tobacco, and is even less habit-forming than caffeine. Most marijuana users do not progress to harder drugs. Marijuana smoking causes no serious lung damage, and marijuana, when used responsibly, causes no third-party harm. Marijuana also has a proven medicinal value. It is highly effective in treating symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, pain spasms, in addition to treating the side effects of some pharmaceutical medications. Marijuana is actually less toxic than many prescription meds. In fact, it is one of the least toxic substances known. In legalizing marijuana, medical research would become possible, and that research would undoubtedly uncover many more medical advantages. And finally, there's the age-old stance that humans, as intelligent beings, should be able to call the shots when it comes to their own bodies. So to sum it up, I'm not saying that I support the use of marijuana. I'm actually very against it. What I support is the legalization or decriminalization of marijuana. Countries that have experimented with legalization have experienced positive results. Our friends at the Legalization of Marijuana website put it like this: legalize marijuana, regulate it, and provide good quality, freely available education as to its use. And I agree. After all, prohibition clearly isn't working. I don't see how legalization could possibly be any worse. Thank you.